I swear to God, some people hear that music in their nightmares. They probably wake up in a cold sweat. What's wrong, honey? Oh, nothing. I just heard Bach. How are you all? Happy Friday. Who needs a drink? Who needs a drink? What are you all having? I hope you're all sitting back. Please stow away your put your what is it? Your armrests. Lower your armrests. Put your seats into their upright position. All of that stuff. I'm gonna have a Buena Vista. BTF Buena Vista. I've never had one of these. This is from my good friend Brian. Watch It's Brian from Tim's show. Sorry about the focus. It's a good one, I think. Smells nice. Probably on the softer side of things. Coming up to 400 in the room. How are you all? Good to see you. Tonight's show, guys, I want to tell you is going to be a little bit over 18s. So if there's anyone underage or anyone watching maybe with kids in the background that might overhear certain things, maybe move your laptop to another room or watch the show another time with headphones. Des, if Brandon's in the room, I don't know. Maybe it's not the right one to be watching. Look, I've still got my James Fox matches from the James Fox store in Dublin. Cigar and whiskey bonders since 1881. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, I might get a little tad racy, perhaps. I don't know. Let's see. I'll try to remain somewhat PG about it, but might be also kind of hard. I'm gonna light this thing up. I'm a bit clumsy here. Ooh. Who's in the room? Guy Hayton, Matt Stringer, Travis Watts, Jemison Neat with a Padron, 1926. Ooh, wow, man. I'm supposed to heat this up, but I'm busy. Omega fanboy Ian enjoying a chilled Ribena. Funny. Well, I made a mess of that, didn't I? Fuck. Let's just use the lighter. 5:20 in the room. How are you all? Good to see you all. It's been an interesting week. I don't want to trivialize things. Obviously, things in the news are pretty damn dire. God. I suppose it was coming, huh? Eventually. For years and years. So I suppose it was to be expected. What am I wearing, by the way? Wristwatch. Check. Audemars Piguet. Royal Oak Offshore. Khaki green. Good? Good enough? One great thing about having a watch channel is you get to see all your watches from the other the other angle all the time. Michaela's in the house. What a wonderful person. Michaela and Eric. Great people. Lucky to have them in my life. Team Oshin, thank you so much, Michaela. I'll see you soon. We didn't do Watch Fashion Police this week because we thought it might be a little bit, I don't know, off color considering what's going on in the world. Maybe just talking about frivolous fashion. Might be a tad tone deaf. Actually, it was Michaela who said, listen, to her credit. And I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. That's teamwork for you. That's fucking teamwork. Tim Wright, 10 books. I'm going to open a bottle of wine. A bottle of wine. A bottle of wine. Then, cheers. When is the Ireland video dropping? Good God, I don't know. Stuart Crook, £5. She just had to turn off your guest appearance on the Archie stream 3 days ago. You're a brave man. What a bunch of wits. Yeah, I mean, I knew what I was getting into. If you guys don't know, I appeared on Archie's stream. I haven't seen or spoken to Archie in a long time. Last time I went on Archie, I went on and myself and Dirk from the iBashers had been talking about, I don't know, his show or the way it was going a couple of days before. And we were saying how, you know, everybody used to watch Archie and we did too and blah, blah, blah. But one of Archie's kind of resident panelists didn't like it. We touched a nerve, I think. And I went on to Archie. I'd been on there a couple of times. This is way back a year and a half ago or something. And I went on and he was delighted to see me. And, you know, because he had been on iBashers, the first one. And it was great. The guy knows so much about so many things, not just watches. The guy's very, he has broad knowledge, general knowledge, trivia, and so on. Amazing. So he was happy to see me, but then his other cohort, who kind of, I think, secretly runs the fucking show there, says, get him off. So Archie just booted me. I was like, okay, well, listen, if that's the way it's going to be, see you later, alligator. So I hadn't seen him in a long time. And I did an episode there. Was it last week? Yeah, it was last week. This time last week, talking about my favorite channels and my not so favorite channels, or whatever what did I call it? The best and worst. And I preempted it by saying, okay, these are they're not the worst. They're just, you know, you put that in the title for people to click on it. And I was like, I'm just not so crazy about them anymore. If I actually told you what the actually worst watch channels are, they would just drive traffic in their direction. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to give any oxygen to like some of these cesspool shithole channels, like really fucking gutter nonsense. But anyway, I mentioned that his channel I don't watch anymore because it's just kind of all gone to shit, and especially because of his guests, or not his guests, but his panel, the panel guys. So it stuck in their craw more than it did Archie's, I think. And I went on to kind of explain, you know, because he got wind of what was said, and then he went to watch the clip, and he didn't actually take it that badly, I don't think, because it wasn't fully directed at him, really. But then he brought his dogs out. And they all had fun. Actually, I think they had a lot of fun. It's probably very exciting for them. Having a real guest on the show for once. Who's in the room? Blue Copper Coffee. This is nuts. Watching because it's Friday, fish and golf. Neil, this is complimentary, so I'll read it. Why not? Man, you're the only guy really ever worth listening to. You got me through working in Dubai. Thank you. I should listen to watch radio. Keep it all going. It's a funny thing because this show was never supposed to be anything. You know, you guys know I like making big documentaries and stuff, you know, about physics and love and World War II and food and wine and pretty much anything. I'm not a streaming guy. It's not my interest. Contrary to what those guys over in the other streams think. No, it's not. I'm not a super chats guy. You know, I mean, super chats are really nice. It's great, but it's, you know, I don't ask for them. Quite often I miss them. You know, as some of you guys know. There's one right now. ARS, what's that currency? 20. Fuck me dead. That's a lot of bots. Yeah, they're bots. The crowd is not that big. The crowd is probably 800, 800. This is just somebody fucking around. This is something they do to kind of hide the real numbers. It's fine. It'll drop off in a bit, whatever. You'll be able to tell by the actual views of the video. That'll tell you what the real crowd was like. That'll be after the fact. I don't have 5,700 people watching. John Paleo, $20. Hope all is well. Hope everyone has an awesome weekend. What a great sentiment, John. You are right. Sean, $20. Brother Oshin, spelled correctly as well. Look at that. Sean takes care about the details. Thank you, man. Look forward to your upcoming video. Missed you in LA, Vegas. Hopefully next year. Cheers to the watch. Fashion Police gang and all my friends in the chat. Be well. Thank you so much. What a ray of sunshine that man is. Fucking hell. He definitely chose the right state to live in. It's not the sunshine state, I know, but it's always sunny there. My brother lives there in LA. Hot and sunny every day. If that doesn't put a smile on your face, I don't know what would. Wouldn't, I don't know. I can't talk tonight. Anyway, listen, yes, so I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about, Mr. Paul Thorpe. There is a guy set a new low. He's setting a whole new bar. Unbelievable. The guy can't fucking step away. Amazing. Very slippery character indeed. Disappoints me more and more as each month goes by. So I'm going to talk about him and what's going on there. And I do want to mention Archie as well as another thing. And I have to talk about Blondie, Megan. Hey, Megan, you're watching? How are you, darling? Miss you. There's another person that doesn't know how to let up. Unbelievable. It's incredible. So I'm going to talk about a shitload of juicy shit tonight. We won't need the bots, fellas. The bots will pale in comparison to the audience because as culturally elevated as I'd like to think the channel is in its better times and its better moments, y'all love a little bit of fucking gossip too, don't ya? That's fine. This is like the water cooler, in the office. That's what Friday nights are like. The rest of the week is content, And boy, oh boy, are there big videos coming out. I've got Vienna. I've got Battle of the Beasts, which is nearly probably be ready by tomorrow night. I'm hoping it is. Maybe by Sunday. That would be a good day to put it out. Sunday's always a good day to put out content. So that one's been in the oven for a while. Then I got Vienna and I got Ireland part 1 and 2. I mean, these are going to be big ones. Ireland is like, oh my dear God. I had to buy a whole new drive. I had to buy 3 drives. I had to buy 2 for backups because it was 6 weeks of shooting. And I was like, if for some reason this hard drive fails, that's about 10,000 bucks spent and 6 weeks completely lost. Like I need 2 backups of this minimum. Then just running the footage, I didn't have a solid state drive, which you need to run these, this stuff. Didn't have one big enough. Just for one shoot, for the Ireland shoot. So I had to purchase a massive solid state drive. Wasn't cheap. Oh, Tim set up his show. Let me make sure that redirect is already set up for him for afterwards when you're all bloody exhausted. You can go over and listen to Tim talk about watches. What a refreshing idea. I just want to talk about watches. Tim, you're not coming up on this thing. Maybe I'll have to go find it. So I'm going to talk about all that stuff. I am, by the way, here we are. Results Geneva auction. Tim's going to talk about. Nice. Yeah, it was a big auction today. Big watch auction. Some crazy pieces in there. With Ariel Box. You know that guy? Amazing, that dude. I love when he just flips into different languages. Just goes into French and German. Italian. I just want to talk about what. There's Red Shovel. Good to see you, man. Thanks to everyone in the real watch community that made New York and Vegas a brilliant event. It's sad that others, many based in the UK, seem intent on splitting the community and causing trouble. Well, I would be accused of that, Red. But that's, of course, if you take the beginning of the narrative from one particular spot, right? The one that suits you. Not to bring up a sore topic, but that horrible stuff that happened in the Middle East on October 7th. If you start the story there, then you get one slant on it. But if you rewind a little, it adds a lot to the story. It's like walking into the end of a movie and seeing somebody get shot or something, going, oh my God, that's so bad. And then they go, no, let's rewind. You might think the same. You might have a slightly different. It was horrible, but it's all horrible, isn't it? Let me not digress. Red, thank you for that. And thanks for the super chat. I'm sorry I missed New York. A lot of people going, why weren't you at the New York event? I guess I kind of missed a big thing there, did I? Guess I did. Shit. I didn't think of it. For some reason, it wasn't really on my radar. Everyone was asking me about Vegas. Vegas, you coming to Vegas? Come on, let's go to Vegas. So I was always answering questions about Vegas. which was a week later. This whole New York event and the Roly Mania event. I missed all the. Am I out of touch? Maybe I'm not included. Maybe I'm not invited. Who knows? You know who did invite me this year? Watch Pro Salon. I got an email from them. We'd love to have you and a partner, you plus one, and we can set up VIP, blah, blah, blah. If you could give a speech about. And I was like, I don't know. I'll think about it. Jason B, $4.99. That show is unwatchable. Simply can't hear or understand anything between all the stupid yelling. Yeah, that's what they do over there on Archie's thing, unfortunately. It's like being in an insane asylum during recess. Now, listen, got something to say about this. I've got a lot to say. This is their shtick. This is what they do. Half of them don't even really believe what they're saying. They just want to get you fired up, because it gets clicks. I mean, I went on and Archie's numbers went from 100 people to 500 or something in the space of 10 minutes. Why? Because I went on. Sorry to fucking beat my chest or anything, but of course they want to, they had someone real on for once, And of course I'm going to attract a few numbers over there. And then there's a bunch of people who maybe would be half paying attention who started paying attention because they saw this and they were like, maybe they don't like me. And they're like, I want to see a public, grilling or whatever, which they didn't really get because I think I deflected the stuff well, deflected the attacks, I should say. I handled them well because I know the beast. I know it at this point. I know it. I know what they're about. I know what their motives are, and I know the way they approach things. And I kind of laughed off most of it. I think it infuriates them as well when I have an answer for everything. They ever hear that shit? You have an answer for everything. It's like, okay, maybe I have a real answer for everything, Imagine coming up to a guy and saying, why is the sky blue? Well, because it's, certain rays get through and the daylight and refraction. What's 2 and 2? 2 and 2 is 4. What's 4 and 4? 4 and 4 is 8. Jesus, you have an answer for everything, don't you? It's never your fault. It's like, yeah, because they're real answers. When I reach a point where I don't have a good answer or you're in the right, then you'll stump me. Until then, I will have an answer for everything. Is that hard to understand? I guess it is for some. They just don't want it. They don't want to see someone hold their own. Kleinerhund is a member for 6 months. Thank you. I'm not sure I can interpret the message there. Speaking in emoji. It's a new language. I'm too old for that. But it is their shtick. And that's kind of what they're there to do. And they got a lot of super chats. That's what it's all about in the end. These guys would interrupt the president if they got a super chat. They'd interrupt anything. It's all about the super chat. It's all about that. They make no mystery of it. They're actually kind of proud of it. They're very overt about it. Which is admirable, I suppose. Like they're not hiding it. They're just like, yeah, we're about the clicks. It doesn't matter. And they love to watch someone kind of dig their own hole or make their own mistakes or make a fool of themselves because they just lead them that way. It's kind of funny. But as a lot of people wrote to me afterwards saying, I was 5 against 1 and you fucking still made mincemeat of them. Which I think I did. It was a bit like The Matrix, Neo going into, what's the name of that guy? The agent guy, the main guy. Australian actor. He's really good. He was in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert and stuff. Can't remember his name. Mr. Anderson. That dude. It was like when they all attack him and Neo's in the middle just going, it was one of those situations. Because, Agent Smith. Thank you, Andy. And Steve A. You guys are fast. Fuck. Oh my God, that was fast. You guys are getting really good at this. Carlos Ramirez, 199. Glad to listen live. Great to have you, Carlos. Magic Mike, 71, $5. Not sure what getting heckled in Archie's Madhouse accomplished, but as the Emperor always says in the movie Amadeus, well, there it is. That's a great quote. Thank you. There it is. My favorite quote, the Emperor in Amadeus, is when he's looking at them all dancing with no music. And he's like, do you like this? He's like, but look at them. That's the best line in the whole movie. But look at them. It's amazing. What a movie. Milos Forman. Actually met him years ago at a party in New York. Amazing. Investment Janitor, $9.99. Happy Friday from one of your patrons. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. O'Brien. You're having O'Brien? She'll be ready for the good parts coming. Oh my God, dude. What year? What vintage O'Brien? Guys, if you don't know, there are 5 greatest wines since, was it 1876 or something? The classification. One was added in 1973. It was Mouton Rothschild. That's because the Rothschild family paid for it to be added. God knows how much they paid. It's great wine, but the original 4 were Latour, Lafite, Margaux, and Aubryon. That is probably a $900 to $1,000 bottle, depending on the vintage. If it's a 1982, it's fucking $6,000. Good for you. Now I'm jealous. I'll let that one through. Just tomatoes. Just throw tomatoes at the guy. Bring it on, dude. My sword is bigger than yours, fella. Anyway, so that is their shtick. But there are 2 people who I won't abide getting in on that. That's how Archie makes his money. It's all about fucking screaming and yelling. It's the Jerry Springer of Watch YouTube. Remember that trashy show? Half of the people were actors, He cheated on me with my sister, all that crap. So I kind of get that, and you have to laugh it off. And you just have to come back at them with the same filthy shit, Just treat them with the, hand them the same filthy spoon they handed you. You got to just hand it back, just regardless. But there's 2 people that I find extremely sinister partaking in that stuff. One is Blondie, because I know her. We used to be good friends, and I know that she's sensitive. Megan. Stop saying Blondie. Call her by her real name. I'm Oisin. She is Megan. And that's how I know Blondie. It's not those guys don't, they have no regard at all for what she's going through or what's happening there. It's kind of disgusting, actually. And the other is Thorpe, Paul Thorpe. How dare you go on there and the next day, the following day, see a group of people attacking this guy and then try and slide your way in on it the same way as with Alex and D. I'm going to play you some Alex Foti in a few minutes. That will shock you. You brought it on yourselves, motherfuckers. It's astonishing, man. These guys behaving in an unjust manner, a horrible way, and thinking they could just walk away from or get away with it, Amazing to me. If I were one of them, I would like walk away from the situation or cower back, No, these guys are fucking astonishing. But I think they all have an issue. They all kind of have an issue with me. I don't think they know what to do with me, because I'm going to remind you of a few things. I'm not the same. Actually, Alex Foti, to his credit, used to tell me this because we used to speak almost every day. He used to tell me that. He's like, you don't belong in here, O'Sheen. You're different. These guys, you can't trust any of them, O'Sheen. You're not the same. Don't get involved with these geezers, O'Sheen. They're all fucking geezers, used car salesmen, yeah? That's how he would speak about them. All. Practically all of them. Not D. D's his good friend. But the rest of them, yeah. Including Paul. Jesus Christ. I've detailed files. There's a quote, guys. You know it already. I have detailed files. I can't do Schwarzenegger. I used to be able to do Schwarzenegger years ago. I can't do it. It's all down there. For your support. Support was always the word that got me into it. I want to thank everyone for their support. Support. I have detailed files. In the Terminator 2. Judgment Day. Anyway, I've never been the Super Chats guy, the please click like and subscribe guy, the begging for money guy, to my own detriment. I mean, I'd probably make a lot of money off the channel if I were that kind of person. But what happens is these guys, they're all in it for the money. I mean, every single one of them. Jesus. Most of these channels you're watching, guys, they're after the money. Hey, look, there's nothing wrong with making money. But don't tell me you're a stand-up individual or you're free of any reins from gray market dealers or some brand you represent or whatever. Don't do that. You can't pass yourself off as one of those people. You just can't. But with me, it's different. They don't know what to do. Like even the other night when I was on Archie, they're all thinking like, he's here to steal our leads. Your leads? Jesus Christ. If I was after anyone's leads, it would be, I don't know, some bigger channel, if I were so inclined, which I clearly am not. They just can't, it doesn't compute when they see an individual who doesn't have monetary um, motives. Monetary motive, M&Ms. They see someone without M&Ms and they're just like, what is that? They don't recognize that creature. They can't figure it out. I'm like a wild card. I'm a joker in the pack of cards. I just shot an Ireland video that cost me nearly $10,000. A lot of people donated, and some of you are watching, and thank you so much. And you will be credited. The end of the video is going to be long credits, just like Interstellar. But I mean, it didn't even come close. But that's okay. That's my decision, and I regularly demonetize my own videos by choosing certain music that I think is right for the video. A lot of people won't even touch that, I remember a Britney Pierce video. She was talking, this is before she kind of went, I don't know, strange. And her husband, Watch Poppy, he was in the background. He used to always be off camera, They were back in the fun days. And he was whistling some tune, and she was like, stop whistling, you'll get us demonetized. She was even afraid of losing whatever it was back then. She's a much bigger channel now. But that is, these channels, monetization is the number one thing, the money coming in, the super chats coming in. So I walk in, and sure, hey, I don't hate money or anything, but I walk in and I'm like, I don't care. Fuck it. And they just don't know how. There's a quote that comes to mind. Yes. Oh yeah, this is I can't believe I forgot this one. Jack Nicholson in Easy Rider. Remember that film? And Jack Nicholson, they're at a campfire or something. And he does this speech about freedom, and he goes, they'll talk to you and talk to you and talk to you about individual freedom, but when they see a free individual, it scares them. That's what's happening here. Look at my stance on the Middle East. I lost plenty of fucking followers and subs, and not that many subs, actually. The subs went up because I think they were replaced a lot by other folk coming in. For every one zealot, there's two others, So that's good. But, you'll see other channels not go near that. They don't want to touch that subject. It doesn't matter what they feel about it, because they know it's like career suicide or whatever they see it as. So if you aren't up to date with how I feel about Paul's new business venture, the Digital Watch Vault, I find it sinister. I have to give you guys my opinion on it, so I'm giving you my opinion on it. I find it to be sinister, deeply sinister, and primarily because of the characters involved. That's the rub. I find the methods to be Machiavellian. Actually, I think they're directly Machiavellian. Wasn't Machiavelli the first guy ever to come up with the idea that you create the demand for the product first, then you sell the product? Isn't he? He was the father of that idea. You don't just sell the product. It was followed then by John Patterson. John Patterson wanted to sell cash registers and receipt printers to vendors. Now you see the bots are gone. See, guys, there's 940 in the room. Welcome. Whoever paid for the bots paid for like 30 minutes. they were dedicated enough to put their real money where their mouth is. They might do it now again. You'll see it all going up. So we have nearly 1,000 or close to 1,000. Welcome you all on a Friday night. John Patterson said, was going around asking people, especially women, did you get a receipt? Oh, you got your hair done. Did you get a receipt? Oh, you got your nails done. Did you get a receipt? Did you? Oh, you bought that bag. You bought groceries. Did you get a receipt? And he created a paranoia among the people. Shit, maybe I should get a receipt. And then a month later, he approached all the stores saying, hey, I have a machine that'll print out receipts for your customers. Are you interested? Hell yeah, they were interested because they got lots of complaints. Why aren't you giving me a receipt? Machiavelli did. That was his idea. Stimulate the public with the need for a certain thing, and then deliver the answer a certain time later. And that's the digital watch vault. And I only figured it out, as I said on a recent episode, I only figured it out because he said it was 3 years in the making. He shouldn't have said that, because that was the clue. That means for the entire 3 years, it wasn't the only thing he talked about, but his ulterior motive, as they say, was remind people about the fear and the caveats of buying watches. And your watch might be stolen or whatnot. Keep that in people's mind, at the forefront of people's minds, then deliver the answer and sell your product. That's what's been happening. On top of that, that would have been enough. But on top of that, the extra stuff, like the characters he's bringing in. Now, Paul's very, very much, this is definitely the most, I'm realizing as the days go by, this is one of the most sinister characters I know. It pains me to say it because we were once friends, but I guess you have to be on the inside to really see what was going on, right? And I was definitely, think about a lot of hate channels love to hate on Paul and other characters. Imagine Marco Niccolini came forward with a really, really honest video about TPG saying, listen, I never told you this, but guys, one time in a board meeting, he said this. You'd believe him because you'd be like, well, he was there. So all the outsiders, all the hate channels and everyone, pretty much everyone hates TPG at this point. They're all on the outside looking in. So you can project and you can come up with all sorts of ideas, but who knows? Whereas if you got an insider, a whistleblower, that's a different level. And to a certain degree with Paul and other characters, I am that guy. I am that guy. And you all have Nico Leonard to thank for it. Nico and Wizards, the two of them, because they were both Wizard. What's his fucking name again? Stefano. We're acting in concert on that fucked up deal that they tried to pull on me. You've them to thank for it because it actually pulled the lid. It exposed a lot of other stuff that may have been more important to learn. So here we are. So what he's doing right now and has been doing is he's been friending people, befriending certain individuals who he sees are against me. I'm surprised Blondie hasn't gotten a fucking call. Hey, Blondie, you want to tell everybody what a shithead Oisin is or whatever, you know? And she would jump on the chance because she's a woman scorned. She was in love and she was very hurt that I had to walk away. The reasons I had to walk away, by the way, are extremely valid. So yeah, I mean, give a woman scorned an opportunity to shit talk her ex or whatever the fuck I am. I don't know. Oh my god, should jump on the opportunity like anyone, not even any woman, but anyone. So what he's doing is he's friending, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? He did it again the other night with Archie, straight in the following day. Unbelievable. This is a guy who doesn't even like. He was booted off Archie several times. And some of the characters on there fucking despise him. But now they're all chum-chums. Truth is, they're not chum-chums. They just want to see the bigger channels burn themselves. It's all just entertainment for them. It's a big fucking laugh. So this has been the tactic now. Of course, me as you know, a lot of people can say a lot of bad things about Paul, but when a bigger channel like myself says something, then it needs to be dealt with. Can't speak tonight for some reason, and that poses a certain threat. And he's going to friend, if he can, if he has the opportunity, friend who he can. Now, it freaked him out with Alex Foti because myself and Alex started a little show called SWAT, Serious Watchdog, which is still active. I just haven't done an episode in like fucking 2 months, but it's still there. Don't worry, it's coming back. I might have Archie on it. Who knows? Why not? But yeah, it freaked him out because you know Alex knows a lot of not good stuff about Paul, and Alex is down there in the trenches. He's familiar with all these characters, very familiar. So Paul went fucking nuts when we started doing that stuff together. Now Alex got the tap on the shoulder by his real commander, the guy holding the puppet strings, which is D. Alex is a simple bloke, straightforward, straight shooter for the most part. But when he gets the tap on the shoulder from that guy, he follows suit. It's like robotics almost, you know. By the way, what am I drinking? I'm having a little Talisker Sky. It's not bad. I like Talisker 10 the most. The older Taliskers get a little syrupy for me. They don't age well. Talisker doesn't age well. 10 years old is enough with Talisker. You don't need to, like the 25-year-old and stuff. It's not anything notable. Anyway, so he started getting free. Then, of course, D gives Alex the tap on the shoulder because I'm not exactly on great terms with Spencer Dreyer from BQ Watches. Things went a little sour there, and I'll expound on that a little bit more tonight as well. I better get through it. Well, lots to talk about. So he got the tap on the shoulder and the commands from above kind of thing, and he fucking followed suit. And he just... then, of course, that was Paul's moment. This guy's shrewd. He's amazing. He should work for some, like, I don't know. He should work for the fucking KGB or something. He moves straight back in to bring them back over to his side. Now Alex has flipped his entire opinion. It's amazing. Alex, Jesus Christ, man. I thought you were a man of principle. Clearly, it's like putty. It's fucking chewing gum. It's malleable. Shape it any way you want. Fucking hell. Even you. Amazing. This is a guy who flipped completely on the stuff. I want to play you a bit from Alex that he sent to me about Paul's new business venture. Now, if you think you can call me now in the middle of this to tell me to shut your mouth, Shane, as you did the last time, dude, fucking try me. How dare you think you can shut someone up? I can tell everybody my opinion, and I can tell everybody what's happening to them, to the viewers, whether you fucking like it or not, you fascist. Censorship? Shut your mouth, Shane. Shut your big mouth. Oh my God. Have you ever met an Irishman before in your life? I'll let you in on something. We don't respond well to threats. Yeah. Not well at all. I'll find you a clip about this watch vault. Give us a second. Sorry, guys. Who's in the room? Alex is a fascist? Absolutely. You want to shut someone up? Do you believe in the freedom of speech? JP Golden Cock? Don't you believe in the freedom of speech? Can't I say what my opinion is? Or should I be shut up? Because that's what fascists do. Cool? Got the message? Apparently not. Apparently not. You don't call someone in the middle of their stream. He called me 4 times or something, trying to get through in the middle of my stream. You guys all saw it. Like, he kept calling my phone. I didn't answer. I should have answered. I should have played it over the fucking microphone. How dare you? How dare you? Disgraceful. You think that you can get away with this kind of crap? No. Absolutely not. I'm going to play you a comment now from Alex. You saw how long it took me to get to it. Fucking endless WhatsApps. We were the best of buddies for ages. We talked every day.
Who's actually owning the rights for that information? Now, I believe it has to be a third party that has to get involved for it to be secure. It can't be held by the likes of Paul Thorpe, because, listen, okay, let me put it this way, yeah? This is what I don't understand, and it's not me getting personal, but it's factual. The fact is that Bunny Distilled Double-O's Paul Thorpe wasn't willing to give his own home address for that's fine. For the Watch Pro. Now, he was supposed to get a ticket for Watch Pro, and he wasn't even willing to put his home address. He made out that it wasn't working, and it was asked, is it because you don't want to give your details? And he said yes. So he's not even willing to give his home address to buy a fucking ticket. And he expects people to provide personal information on a database that he doesn't understand and doesn't know how it's even being held. How is it being held? What security is there? Because if it's not done correctly, it's a big fuck up. It's a very, very serious issue. So how can you have full trust in somebody that won't even tell anyone where he fucking lives, but expects people to give personal information on their watches? Plus, it legitimizes watches. that do not have or have not been registered as stolen. It legitimizes stolen watches or watches with spurious history. Also, it doesn't validate a watch as being original or authentic because apparently they don't even know. They're not willing to even know what is being registered. What happens if a number is put in incorrectly? It's fucking void. It's just void because human error.
Sorry, I grabbed the phone there for a minute because he said a name. They have a name. He and Dee have a name that, that they have Greek heritage. Their parents are Greek, whatever. They love that whole Greek shit, right? They call each other compadre, right? They have a name for him as well. I can't understand. It's like a big long name in Greek.
So Dee and I have done some research, and it's not possible to have a blockchain because it's totally void and it goes GDPR. So I don't think Baneodi Theodopulos, Paul Thorpe, we like to call him Baneodi Theodopulos, it just sounds more interesting.
Right, that's the name. Baneodi Theodopulos. I don't know what he's saying. If anybody understands Greek, I know some of you do. Tell me what that is. I don't know. There it is, guys. Now, all of a sudden, this guy, I believe he's on fucking live right now with Paul. This is the least of it. I had direct calls. He didn't leave everything in voicemail like this. He would call me and go on for fucking ages. I have a screenshot here of part of that same thing. Can I share this over? Yes, I can. Same as WhatsApp. And let me just make sure I'm not doing anything funky here other than the obvious. This was a clip of Paul talking about his new thing coming out. And I said, yep. You can see that, right? Yeah. Just want to make sure. Oshin, it's been over a year. His watch register is going nowhere. He has gaslighted everyone. See that? Perpetual Time. That's him. That's his company. I said, I think this is the year for it, though. I'm actually defending Paul. Look, I think this is the year, or at least that's the plan. I don't see it. Too much competition, and he hasn't got a clue how it works. Guys, that's fine. Alex can think whatever he wants. It's very interesting what Alex has to say. He works for the Watch Register. We had Catherine on from the Watch Register together, and we spoke about these issues with watch registers together. But the fact that now the dude is over there with Paul, like going against me, do you understand? Someone got paid. Someone got paid. I don't think it was Alex. I'll defend Alex. I don't think it was him. I think it was D. And D gave him the famous tap on the shoulder. You see, they have a big problem here. Tim Wright's a problem for them because Tim fucking talks about everything. And Tim came up with the term, the cartel, right? Actually, I don't think it was Tim, but Tim adopted it. I think Tim told me it was someone else, but then Tim adopted it. And now the cartel become the cartel. So that's Roman Sharf and all the gray market guys who are all fucking working in cahoots, right? Thick as thieves. And by the way, I should mention, shout out to Tim, that Tim was threatened. Tim was threatened by Paul for saying that. You know, recently Paul came on the Archie thing, talked about going outside the YouTube space into people's lives, affecting money that goes into their lives, food that goes onto the table in their house. Really? You're going to pull that one on me, man? Really? Like when I was doxxed and I got death threats to my fucking phone. And about my daughter. You mean like those things? Those things that you did not denounce publicly? Because the person who did it was a bigger YouTuber and you were looking at the fucking dollars and cents like you always do and you can't see anything else? Stop putting a fucking dollar sign on everything you see. How about that? What about the London watch shows? I'm lying in bed in a hotel room, coughing my guts up, checking my fucking pulse, and my fucking heart rate is going up and down, like being heavy COVID after the second London watch show that I went to. And they're already live. I'm nothing to do. I'm lying in bed. I put on their fucking live. They're already talking about another London watch show. I'm like, are you out of your mind? You've put people's lives in danger twice now. The first London watch show, which never happened because lockdown kicked in, they were the last to cancel their show. There were soccer matches cancelled. There were huge concerts in England canceled because it finally reached there. It hit us first. Remember Italy was on the news? Remember all those episodes I did about lockdown? It finally got to England. The fucking Brits thought it would never hit them. Somehow they're immune. And it finally hit them. And he was on the phone going, I don't know, Charlie wants to keep this show on. And I was like, Paul, don't get out in front of that. The whole world is coming to an end or to a pause. You don't want to be the last fucking show to get cancelled because it really makes you guys look like money grabbers. The following year, the first London Watch show, I went along. I got sick. Everyone got sick, including Paul. They put people's lives at risk. I told Paul on the phone, I was like, we don't know this, but I came out fine. In the end, I got sick. Other people got sick. I heard from lots of my viewers they got sick. But somewhere out there, there's a guy who didn't make it through. And we're kind of responsible for that, Paul. You know what he said? He goes, well, hopefully his wife will call me and say, I've got a Submariner to sell. That's what he said. And he was joking, but I was like, that's not a funny joke. Sweet mother of God. Sweet mother of God. Fucking ruthless. Money grabbing shysters. The other night he went on about Spencer. How could he talk badly about Spencer? I'll tell you, Spencer fucking shared private information between me and Spencer to the world. To the world. I'm still getting messages now saying, just pay Spencer. What are you talking about? You crazy? Here's something you didn't know. And Spencer's a lovely man to talk to and so on. But here's something you didn't know. I'm going to tell you this. So I'm lying in bed in London, coughing my guts up, paying for a hotel. Actually, in the end, it was a supporter of the channel that covered that cost. And God bless him. And I had picked up the Royal Oak Chrono from Spencer that time, those days, a few days previous before I fell ill. The guys from Zero West were great. I went down to them to film. I filmed anyway, sick and all. I filmed. You all saw the video, the documentary there about the guys. And they were lovely. They were very, very sweet about it. And it was a loss for them too. They lost a lot of money too because they paid. They got me a hotel room and everything. Then they repaid again. I went back down again to finish off the job. And we finally got the thing done. But they're gentlemen. But I went back to London and I was fucking half dying. And I couldn't leave the country because, of course, you can't. I went to get a test in order to, hopefully to get a negative test. And I just started heaving and coughing like I was constantly coughing for a month, 6 weeks easily. And Spencer was on the phone and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm fucking half dead here." I was like this, on the phone. And Spencer goes, he goes, let me get you an Airbnb. Seems nice, right? Let me get you an Airbnb and I'll get you somewhere out here near us. I'm like, I can't get an Airbnb. First of all, I can barely move. Going to the bathroom is hard. And that's 8 feet away from my bed. I can't pick up and pack all my stuff and go to some Airbnb. And the Airbnb host letting me in will see me heaving horrifically and the state I'm in. They're going to be like, he's not right. I was like, that's not an answer, Spence. The next day I got a call. He was concerned about the watch. He goes, I know you don't want to hear this, but he was afraid that I was going to croak it, die in some hotel room, and the watch would be gone, and therefore the money. That's what he was trying to protect by offering me a fucking Airbnb. I don't know, guys. Dollars and cents. There's a great Roger Waters song from one of his records, from Amused to Death. It's a great record. Can't you see? It all makes perfect sense. Expressed in dollars and cents, pounds, shillings, and pence. Can't you see? It all makes perfect sense. So, what's happening is I was telling you guys about all this stuff and how I thought that this whole thing was by design. Pretty fucking clever. I have to hand it to him. Fucking genius. Putting this whole thing together about fucking watch crime and reporting on all the watch crime and so on led to the fucking digital watch. And I'm like, can you hear me? Can you stop? Can you calm down? Calm down. Oh my God. I was like, she's going to get arrested. She's going to get arrested. If she doesn't get arrested, it'll be a fucking miracle. It was the most unbelievable display. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then it hangs up. And then I get the call back. Did you hang up at me? I'm like, no, it just hung up by itself. What's going on? And I was just, yeah, fucking God. She's screaming at staff. And I was like, no one there is responsible for this. They don't deserve to be called all sorts of names. Just stop. But there was no stopping. And here we are. Apparently I did her wrong. There's no stopping. The wild, flagrant disregard for anything composed. I'm like, oh dear God. Dear sweet God. It was an unbelievable scene. I put down the phone. I called Dirk, my best friend in the world from iBashers. He was like, dude, you've been through so much. You're approaching 50 at the time. Now I'm 50. He goes, why would you want that in your life? Don't put yourself into that. The best advice. I'm like, Dirk, I wish I was fucking gay like you. I really do. And he goes, yeah. People don't talk about that part of it, but it's actually really fucking cool. Not to say it's just a woman thing. I'm just saying, Jesus, if I was a dude, he would have been totally in cuffs, completely, in a second. It was unbelievable. Then I got a series of bizarre texts during the night. Oh, I'm not even going to go into them, but that's up to you guys. That's up to Bear and all the other characters. It's up to you. Watch me, you lousy sons of bitches. See, let's see who you care about. Let's see if you really care about the girl. Because I think you're just using her for clicks. The following day, I get a call. Now, years ago, I'm going to go back. I'm going to backtrack for a second. Years ago, I was in couples therapy with an ex of mine. A very important woman in my life. Person I respect a lot. And we were in couples therapy in Ireland. And there was a lot of, he did this and he's a blah, blah, blah. All sorts of things about how awful a person I am. And why did he say this and why did he say that? And the therapist looked at her and said, listen, there's something you don't know about the Irish. The Irish have a problem saying no. We have a difficulty saying no. Oh, can I come to your wedding party? Oh, fuck. Okay, sure. We won't say no, even though we know it might be bad. Oh, can we do this? Oh, fuck. Can you lend me the money? Okay. We can't, we have a difficulty being cunts. No is a very good word to learn for all you Irish watching. Learn how to say it because you can get out of a lot of shit. Avoid a lot of shit, I should say. So I got a call the next day. Or it wasn't a call, it was a text. They gave me another flight. Do you still want me to come? I went to bed that night going, where's the whiskey? Like, I need a half bottle of whiskey in me right now. Because what I just witnessed was like, she should be under arrest. Never mind coming to Venice for the weekend. Never mind that. And I was like, I felt so bad for her. I was like, she's clearly there's a problem like this. Oh, Jesus Christ. Do you still want me to come? And I knew if I said no, I would have saved myself a lot, but it would have broken her heart in two. And she was already a mess. So I was like, okay, what do you do? What do you do? And I said, yes. I said, it's okay. Yeah, go ahead. Fuck, just deal with it. That was the beginning. There's one person watching maybe right now or tomorrow who knows exactly what I'm talking about. And dude, you're a fucking crazy dude too, I've got to say. And if push comes to shove, I'll tell them all about you, man. Try me. Paul said a very accurate thing the other night on Archie. When you got nothing to lose, you can fight dirty. Well, that's fucking true. A lot of other stuff happened. Way worse than what you just heard. I mean, 1,000 times. But I'm not going to talk about it. I'll talk about it if those lousy sons of bitches talk about it. There's a good reason to tune into their channel now. All of a sudden, there'll be lots of traffic on their hate channels because they'll be waiting to see. Let's see if you're so tempted that you're willing to hurt the person you apparently care for so much, which I don't think you do at all. That's called a stalemate, my friends. Let's see what kind of beautiful human beings you guys are. And whatever smearing you have in mind. Anyway, I think it's a good time for the watch world to cleanse itself of these characters. I think Paul now has brought over Archie into his group. I mean, he brought over Alex and Dee, which I think was a big mistake. But now he brought over Archie. I think that's suicide. I think it's suicide for his business. Having Archie anything to do with it is going to be a problem. There's another thing I want to mention as well. The other night, a lot of my viewers watched the Archie thing. And they were disgusted at the treatment, disgusted at the constant attacks while I just explained or answered or laughed, or I didn't attack anyone ad hominem until the end. One guy came in and he was just full of shit. And I was like, okay, I'll be full of shit too. Let's fucking, I can pick up that tennis racket if you want. You want to just like fucking hit balls at me? I'll hit balls back at you. Like, I don't give a shit. But there's one thing that Archie mentioned. I guess the next day, or yeah, it must have been the next day. David SW, who are a big sponsor of Archie's, or at least a long time sponsor. I don't know what kind of money they give him. They contacted him and said, if we were to believe what Archie said, which I do, he held up the email on the camera. They said, listen, apparently your politics, like, we don't like you talking about politics. And we'd like if you removed our banner when you're talking about politics. Archie took that as them dumping him. I don't know if it was quite dumping. They just said, if you're going to talk politics, don't have our banner. So in other words, just don't talk about politics. I know Archie's politics, they're extremely right-wing. Maybe they're right-wing too. I don't know. Who knows what the reasons they have. But apparently they dumped him. And then Paul kind of jumped into defender mode. Like, I'm going to be the knight in shining armor and get you another sponsor to replace them. Whoever that sponsor may be. Caveat emptor. That's all I can say. Caveat emptor. But that's fine. And Archie thinks it was something to do with me. Like, I called fucking David SW. Let me tell you, Archie, if you're watching, I have better things to do in my time than fucking call someone's sponsor or write to them or whatever. Could it have been one of my viewers? Possibly. I don't know. There's a lot of them, and a lot of them were extremely upset about the treatment that I got on your show. Do you give a fuck? Probably not, because you're kind of reckless. Well, reckless number one, meet reckless number two. If you lost your sponsorship with David SW because of your horrific treatment and letting your fucking wild dogs, these maniacs, these wild fuckers on me, I'm sorry to hear that, but it's out of my control. In the same way as many of your ardent followers and devotees who think you're some sort of deity will follow your lead and attack me and write all sorts of things online and so on about me. I also have a lot of guys who will go back in the same direction. Now, I know that will get you clicks and possibly attention and super chats. So I know that's probably very tempting for you. But all I can tell you is I had nothing to do with it. I've never wished you bad. I even told you on that show that you were the OG and everybody stole your shtick. You complain about certain people stealing. Nico stole my shtick. Tim stole my shtick. We all stole your shtick, dude. You were the first. Everyone online. There are lots of other channels, dude, who stole your shtick. So get over it. Let me go back through the comments. Again, this is not real content. This is not, this has nothing to do with the episodes I make. This is Friday night talking by the water cooler, yeah? Mark Shaw. $10. Thank you so much, Mark. Couples therapy is a power play card used by passive-aggressive females to try and outmaneuver their males. That's dark. That's fucking dark, dude. You're better off without a woman that wants you to go to couples therapy. It's funny because I was in couples therapy then years later with a different girl. And it didn't work. Of course it didn't work. It was fucking bullshit. And then I went on a date with a girl. And she was extremely intelligent. And I was like, listen, I got to be honest with you. I didn't care at that point. And we had a really cool, honest chat. I mentioned this last week. And she said, isn't couples therapy just a nice way to break up? I was like, yeah, you're fucking right. Yeah, it's a fucking sham. Don't do it, guys. Those couples therapists, people, those psychologists, you're just going to spend more money than you have to. If it's already on the rocks like that, just drop the bag in your hand. I don't care what's in it. Just drop it and walk. Just walk, guys. That's my advice. Ray, fuck me, NTR. Watching mackerel in trawler's net. Ray, he's a legend. Good to see you here, man. Listen, Megan, go back to Tim. He cares for you. He protected you. He did. He tried to help. The lads you're hanging out with now, they don't care. They just want to see dirt because that's what they live on. That's what they live on. And they're Paul Thorpe's mates now because the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? And Paul wants to protect his investment. And the smearing begins. Watch it. Glad to see the bots pissed off. Anyway. I'm just looking through the comments. Take a sip of your drink, guys. Sorry, I'm just looking through the comments here for a second. It's taking me a minute. Magic Mike. Mere fact of going on a channel where this bear clown is rampant says a lot about your own dignity. Yeah, it's true. You're right. I figured I'd go on and at least wave the white flag and chat to Archie, a person who I knew. We had mutual respect, but clearly the guy is just, Listen, money is the thing. Money is the thing with so many of these guys. If I called Archie tomorrow and said, "Hey, Archie, thanks for having me on. I'll give you $500 a month to speak well about me." He would take it and totally do it. Money is the bottom line. It's nothing to do with honor or being a great guy or anything. They're all about the fucking money. That's it. But at least they're honest about it. Paul isn't. And neither is Dee, or it seems Alex for that matter. What a terrible, terrible disappointment. After the cash, guys. And they don't even find it weird. And that's why they find me weird. They're like, what's this guy's fucking motive? Where's he getting paid? Who's paying him to do this? Like, that's all they can compute. They can't understand. Coming back to that quote again, they'll talk and talk about individual freedom, but when they see a free individual, it scares them. Anyway, there it is. Final thoughts. Coming into the watch game, you think it's about watches, don't you? You think it's about the pursuit of beautiful things. My channel has certainly reached beyond those borders into history and science and culture, art. And most of you who have stayed for those reasons, you know. Watches was just the entry door. It could have been whiskey. I could have had a whiskey channel or a wine channel. There's lots of channels out there that talk about those things, or culture, travel. It was just the entry point. And I feel like a lot of you have learned stuff, and you've taught me a lot of stuff too. I get some amazing comments from people saying, actually, you're wrong about that particular thing. It was actually this guy and blah, blah, blah. And they explain it. It's amazing. The audience is extremely informed. It's great to have everybody here. But the one thing I didn't know about, didn't expect, were all these shysters. Especially the grey market guys. I honestly think they're capable of anything. I do. And sometimes I walk around packing, as they say. More than sometimes. Just in case someone wants to get heavy-handed. That started back when I was doxxed. Anyway, what's the answer to this? Behave normally. Behave like a regular, compassionate human being. It's not that hard. Don't be sly. Don't be backhanded. Think about when things broke up between me and Paul, for example. I was we were the best of mates. We had each other's back. I defended that guy over and over, despite his various issues and people saying all sorts of things. It was actually a weight on my shoulders. The channel would probably be bigger now had it not been for my association with him in the first place. How could you hang out with that dude? I'm like, yeah, we're very different creatures, but he's a good guy and I don't care what his son did, blah, 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 all that stuff. I'm very fucking loyal to a fault. Very fucking loyal. But then I got fucking stabbed in the back. The minute that criminal behavior, the minute Nico started criminal behavior, Paul should have called it out. After all, that's what Paul's about, right? He's against criminal behavior. That went into criminal behavior. Nico has walked away from it now. He doesn't give a flying fuck. The guy's fucking, he's a fucking maniac. The guy's crazy. Paul should have called it out and said, no, 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 no. First of all, that's not right. Second of all, it's not right to do to my friend. He's having difficulty with this situation. Give him a fucking break. No, no, no. None of that. JS, what did Nico do? You're out of the loop, man. It's been a while, so there's no point in getting into it. It's very well documented on the internet, though. You can go find it all out. I met Nico actually just by sheer coincidence in Dublin recently, and neither of us were in the mood of getting into it. Watch It's Brian. Love this guy. Revelation. Gray dealers need to screw two consumers. The one they buy the watch from and the one they sell the watch to. ADs only need to screw one. Wow, that's dark. Fuck. Brian, you have a way of putting things, man. You really do. Fuck. It's a hard pill to swallow. But I guess it's true. Anyway. I guess Alex was right in the first place back when we were mates. And he wasn't playing this fucking two-faced game that he's now playing with Paul. God knows how much Paul paid him or whatever Dee told him to say. But Alex was probably right back then. He goes, oh, Shane, you don't belong here and these people, man. You make arty videos. You don't belong in here. This is full of fucking shysters and geezers. Best to stay out. I guess he was right. I was in the music business for 25 years. I met a lot of assholes, a lot of shitbags. And my message to them would be, come back, all is forgiven. I had no idea how bad it can get. Travis, super chat. If you're packing, have you changed your views on gun rights? No. I think that people who feel in danger, especially public figures, not like I'm a fucking public figure. I understand celebrities with a bodyguard or politicians with a bodyguard. That I understand. Yes. You don't understand, like some of these guys, you don't know what they're capable of. So you just gotta keep aware, especially when I was doxxed. Every time leaving that apartment. I mean, first of all, I said to my daughter, I was like, can you just go? She's like, what's happening, Dad? It's like, nothing. It's fine. Just go back to your mom for a while. It was that. Don't come over for a bit. And, opening the door or going back to the apartment for a while was very weird. Yeah. So when you feel, some of these guys, they're so hell bent. Like some of the Archie followers, they're so fucking horny for that guy. It's like they're capable of anything. It's a tribe. There's a reason why he calls himself the pontiff. He is their deity, presiding over these guys. And there's another thing that Paul pushes as well. It's like a lot of these guys, they don't like me because I seem educated, like I'm educated and I use words maybe they don't understand or whatever. So they just don't like my type. They don't like my kind, Meanwhile, I'm from a fucking very poor family in Dublin, rough upbringing in corporation housing in Dublin. Give any of these cunts like 2 months in those areas where I grew up, they wouldn't survive it. I had my head kicked in 100 times in school and growing up in poverty and tough times. Dubliners are, we're fucking. I was reminded of that when I was back in Ireland. Like, I was in Ireland for 6 weeks doing that shoot, and I was reminded because here in Italy, I just saw some guy screaming at another guy in the street. Some guy was playing guitar and he was drinking, and some dude was giving them shit, and the two of them yelled at each other a fuckload of insults. It's very Italian to yell. They bark a lot, the Italians. And it hit me in Ireland as well. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen much. Why? Because you don't know who you're getting. You want to get in someone's face on the bus or on the train, some random guy. You don't know if he's going to fucking break your nose. You don't know. Like, you don't know who you're talking to. There's like a certain level of respect with the Irish because we're just like, you want to get in my face, I might kill you. I might break your arms right here. Like, and that commands a certain respect. And I respect that when I speak to especially Republicans who believe in the right to bear arms. They're like, don't fuck with me because I might shoot you. So it commands it brings everything down. Everyone just calm the fuck down because the dude could be packing. You don't know. You want to get in his face. What happened to that YouTuber recently? Some YouTuber got in some guy's face randomly, asking him questions and filming. And he's like, get out of my face. And he wouldn't get out of the guy's face. And the dude just pulled out a gun and shot him. Now the dude is going to jail because it was murder. But a lot of people are like, you know what? He was in the right because the dude was so in his face. I mean, not right to shoot the dude, but it's that's when it gets out of hand. I think the Irish way is simpler. It's like, dude, get out of my face or I'll fucking clock you in the head. And, like, don't fuck around. The Italians do a lot of that shit. They shout at each other a lot. I'm like, is anything going to get violent? And the Italians are like, no, it's not going to get violent. We shout at each other. It's what we do. It's like, okay. Because if that dude did that to me, I'd be like looking around to see if there were any cops first. That's the logic we have. I don't understand why you would do that. So I gun laws, I wish they weren't all over the place, guns, because all sorts of lunatics can get their hands on them. But yeah, sure. If you're someone who feels threatened or a public personality or there are people after you out to get you, then you might want to think about that. Don't even put a bullet in it, just because that could get you. You could wind up in jail. Don't put bullets in it. Just put it in their face and go, fuck the fuck off. It might be enough. Anyway. It's been a heavy one, guys, but I told you it would be. I think Paul at this point is the ultimate slippery dude, ready to go onto a channel where people hate him and have slandered him at a heavy, heavy level. He's ready to go on there because I'm the problem. So he wants to rally those fuckers. Watch it happen, guys. Watch it happen. You've seen it all tonight. Thanks for listening to me. I hope that was interesting and informative. That's the important part of Friday nights, right? Being honest and straightforward. Paul Thorpe, happy to come on. No, dude, that's a 2-3 hour fucking spat. We don't want another one of those. Okay, man. I think you said your piece the other night, and to the wrong people, I've got to say. Fucking hell. 24 hours after they spat all sorts of hilarious nonsense at me. I was waiting for these guys to say I'm an alien from outer space. I'm a lizard person and I have to take off my mask. That's the level we're talking about. It's fucking nuts. But whatever, they have to do that. Paul doesn't have to do that, especially when he's running a business. Don't get on the side of those guys. Anyway. Yeah, you all want to see a spat. Now, I'm not going to get into a spat. It's 2 hours and 7. I've done it before. I'm not afraid to do it. You clearly know that I'm not afraid. Yeah, I think you know at this point. Oisin is willing to burn his entire fucking channel and reputation just to tell the fucking truth. I think that's pretty clear at this point. If it isn't, you haven't been paying attention. Paul, you need to rewind this episode. Have fun, my friend. Have fun. Lies, lies, and more lies, says Paul. You see, there it is. You see, lies. They're all lies, guys. Amazing. Amazing. Keep pushing, man. Keep pushing. I have the truth on my side. And if it burns the whole channel, and if it burns the entire thing, I don't care. Unbelievable. I'll bid you all farewell. I'm going to send you over to Tim's. Hey, Paul, go over to Tim's and tell everybody I'm a liar. Good luck with that. I might show up on Tim's. Hey, that'll get Tim some clicks, right? I'll see you on Tim's. How about that, Paul? As much as it'll fucking burn you up and your new friend, Archie. Let's all see each other on Tim's. Like they really want to talk about this shit anymore. My God, they're so past it. But anyway, maybe I'll see you over there. So if you just let the thing play, got everybody watching, just let it play and it'll go over to Tim's automatically. If I've set it up correctly, I believe I have. Let me just double check. And thank you for anybody who super chatted. As you probably saw, I don't pay enough attention to the super chats. That's why most of you, as much as you'd love to, probably don't. Because you're like, Oisin gets off on a tangent. Because money is not at the forefront of my mind. It's not. I wish it were. I'd be a richer man. I really would. If money was all I cared about. But I'm up against people who really care about it. It's all they care about. So I'm probably losing. Face it, O'Malley. All right. Maybe see you over in Tim's. Just leave a play. It'll go over. Thanks for listening to me. I'll see you guys next week for Who Needs a Drink. I hope you had a good evening.